we go.
And let's
You're
do
in.
that. And here we go. Can you guys see that okay?
Yep.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to go on to slideshow. Hopefully. There we go. All right. Very good.
Boy, that looks official.
Yeah, that's all for you, George. Okay. So this is the first one. We'll just there we go.
Okay.
You'll work, you just let me know where to go, George.
Okay. This was going over to the island. This is it's actually how I first came to Palm Beach. Was down that street. That's Royal Palm Way. And there are 3 bridges into Palm Beach. And that's the first time I ever came to Palm Beach.
Wow.
And I'm going to go up to where that truck is and turn left. And we're going to go to this job. Go ahead to the next one. This is the project. Now, I want to do an entrance. I can pretty much see the shadows that are there right now. I'm going to duplicate something close to that by putting the lights in the tops of the trees. A 30-foot ladder will catch any height that I need there. I'm going to use par 30, 120 volt fixtures with long shields. And the uplights, I'll show you where I'm going to put them. I'm going to light across the concrete driveway and bring some shadows out into the street because I want to draw some attention. I'm going to light a little bit of the hedge. You see where the triangular stones are on either side? I'm going to light to the first 3.
Yeah, here.
Yeah, on either side. I'm gonna give light on either side there, and pretty much out in the street, just about where those shadows are right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to extend the driveway just a little bit. Now, they'll be done from downlights, and there'll be actually 2 uplights, and that's a larger tree in the front. One's going to be up in the tree. There's a branch that comes out. I guess, I don't know if you can enlarge it.
On this one
No,
right
not
here?
that one. No, go to the left. Go to the left in that tree. Yeah.
Oh.
That one. No, that one. Come down, 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 down. Right about there. There's a place on the back side of the tree where I'll prune that open and put an uplight and go up through the top of the tree. And the downlights will be at the tops of those trees. Be 2 of them. One coming across the driveway to the right and one to the left. Now, ordinarily, I would not do that. I would create a direction. There's different ways to do this. You can see where the sunlight is hitting this. It's actually giving you 2 different directions. It's coming through one tree and another tree. That's one way of looking at shadows. At night, for a moonlight night, I like to create a direction. The tree on the left grew larger, so I had to do more with it. The tree on the right, smaller. And with the tree on the right, I'm going to come back across the gate. So there'll be a light coming across the gate, and then one coming to the 3 triangles. So there really won't be a shadow pattern direction there. The signs on the 2 pilasters are backlit, and then there's you can't really see it there, but there's a gate code and a speaker, which is that one right there. So that's kind of that's the idea that I have with this. Mark, do you have the next slide, or the slide that shows the nighttime thing?
Yeah.
That was from 2013. Now there's going to be more shadows than that this time, but that kind of gives you an idea of the effect I'm looking for.
Wow.
Gotcha. Very nice.
Very nice.
Oh,
So-
wow, that's the same entrance?
That's the same entrance.
Amazing.
But no uplights on the tree.
Oh, yeah, go back to it, sure. The uplights are in the two trees, the two big trees, and of course.
Ah, they're in it, okay.
Oh, they're in it. Okay.
Yeah. I like it when I can. I like putting lights inside the tree so that the landscapers don't hit them. And, they only get hit once a year when they trim the trees.
Yeah.
So it gets everything up in a way. If you're gonna do that, you really need to downlight, because the combination of the up and down takes the hot spot away. It
Yeah.
looks more natural. It looks weird if you just put an uplight inside of a tree.
Mhm.
I had to put uplights inside of the two trees. If you look behind it, this is the old design. Look at the two trees inside the gate. Yeah, that's what, see the hot spot? You can't really see the trunk, and then that's another one back there.
Mhm.
I had to do what I could do. They added those two trees. They were smaller. I wanted to make it work, and I didn't put a light at the bottom of the tree. I'm going to go back and put lights at the bottoms of that tree. Just a little bit of a change in design.
How many years is it between this picture and what you're gonna do?
I took this picture in 2013, so 11 years ago.
Okay, it's a much bigger tree.
Well, yeah, but they've kept them trimmed. Those two trees were pretty mature on the front. The ones in the back are a little bit bigger, but they've kept them trimmed. They've scaled them. They keep them trimmed to scale them back so they get thicker. You'll see it. I have photographs of it. So you've seen what I do. What would you guys have done? How would you attack this?
Can we go back to the other picture? The one that's straight on, that one?
This right here,
Yeah,
the daytime. Yeah.
yeah. I would somehow accent those two columns and put a couple of uplights, one on each of those columns, just so that they stand out a little bit. And I like the idea of the light raking across the gate and the driveway to give it some texture, like the sun is doing now. And then I like the idea of putting uplights in the trees and more on the back side of the tree than the front side of the tree to make them stand out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The reason I didn't like the columns, because that's the typical thing that you see. I will be lighting across it, so they'll be indirectly lit from the trees. And the numbers on either side are lit. So that's why I didn't uplight the column.
Okay.
But I see where you're coming from with that, and that's a very good point. What would you have uplit those columns with? What kind of fixture?
Just an MR16, a warm color, 2700 Kelvin, and a 35 degrees, 40-degree bulb, about 12 to 15 inches away from the column and pointing almost straight up.
Why wouldn't you have used a rectangular wall wash unit? Which is just a straight, I call it,
Linear.
it's a much softer look.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And if you can put it within 8 inches of the column, and if you tilt it back more than 90 degrees, if you go maybe 100 degrees, 110 degrees, you have to experiment with it at night, and it will wash that entirely smooth without any hot spot.
How far back would you put it?
You have to experiment with it. You can do it back, keep it low. I would guess 6 to 8 inches.
Yeah.
With a 60, you have to experiment too. With a 60 degree and a 90 degree. You're gonna have to try both. Because each fixture is gonna be just a little bit different. Use a diffused lens with the 60 or 90 degree MR16. You'd also have to dim both of them because they're going to overshadow.
Because they're white columns.
Mhm.
you're gonna have to do some kind of dimming. I typically do it with black spray paint, with high temperature black spray paint. And I'll just get it exactly where I want it. I'll just dust it exactly where I want it.
And
Yeah,
you use the paint to,
dim
on
it
the light
On
to
the- on the
knock it
lens.
down?
on the lens.
On the
The glare
lens?
off the lens.
That's my dimmer. You can use stainless steel cloth, stainless steel screen. And it will do the same thing, but
Yeah.
it's a little more tedious because you got to take the lens out.
Mhm.
So if I'm working, I'll use the high temperature spray paint and do the dusting exactly as I want. Now, here's another trick. Say I put this at 8 inches away, 6 inches away from the column. And the column was too bright at the bottom. I would take electrical tape and tape across the bottom of that light and start looking at when that hotspot goes away. And if it goes away. And
Mhm.
if I have to do another thickness of tape, I'd take another look at it and take a look at the columns. Once I figured out how thick I had to go, I would mark it or take a piece of cardboard as a template, and then I'd spray paint that area black that I just uncovered with tape. And it works beautifully. It's quite a trick. That's something I need to show you in the field. It's an amazing trick.
Mhm.
And you have to experiment with it.
Or
Well,
could
Yeah.
you also pull back away from the pilasters themselves more instead of being 6 or 8 inches? What if you were like 12 or maybe 16, 18 inches away and kind of angled a little bit differently so that it'll wash out further, but it may soften it too.
It definitely will. You have to be careful at that because then you're starting to aim into the column.
Mm-hmm.
And you may not get the entire column lit.
Gotcha.
It's the only thing you have to worry about, and that's field experience. That's just being
Yeah.
out there. It's handwork, guys.
Yep.
And you got to do it right there, and you may have to move it back that. This is the difference. This is the difference between average and great, and that's what makes the difference. That you know what you're going into, and you know how to do it, and you take the extra 15, 20 minutes to make it perfect, and that's the difference.
so when you go out there and look at it, you figure out what fixtures you're gonna use, you figure about where you're gonna do. Do you go out there and then at night on your own and just do a little demo for yourself so that you can figure out where the fixture is gonna go and how much paint you're gonna have to put on it?
No,
how much
I've
you
been
have to
doing it
knock
so
it
many
down?
years that I know I know what's going to happen. And
Okay.
I've been doing it so long, and you will too. Once you do this a few times and you start duplicating these things,
Mm-hmm.
you'll know right away. This is experience. I do all my designing in the daytime. I do all my installs in the daytime.
Mm-hmm.
So I know the effect that I'm looking for. I know the tree limbs. I know what I'm going to do. And I know that Mark actually has a print that I work from. And I guess I have a few light fixtures on it. I'm going to be redoing the whole thing. We won't install this till after hurricane season. But I promise I'll show you the photographs of what we did. We'll go back and duplicate this and we can talk about it.
And you know what, George, I forgot to include that plan after each or before each slide here. It's
Do you have
probably,
it? Do you have the plan at least? Can you show it? Do you have it?
yeah, let me see if I'll scroll down real quick, and
Okay.
I think it's at the end.
Oh, okay.
No, you know what? It's not even in here. Sorry about that.
Oh, okay.
I missed it.
Yeah, we had a print of. I work from blueprints. Either I'll get a print from the client. And if I can get a print from the client, I'll photocopy it and get a PDF of it. It does a couple things. It involves the client. It shows the client that you're doing something different in a different way. You're more professional. And it involves them because they have to go get the print. They probably have it in their papers. You can always get this from the building departments. And you can probably sketch it from Google Earth, but a scale drawing that an architect or a landscape architect's done for the site plan is a big, big help.
Mm-hmm.
And God, I wish you had this.
Yeah, let me
Anyway, you can pull that up because
see if I can find it here. I'm gonna stop sharing, then I'll share again because with you, then that way you can control it and I'll go pull it and
okay,
bring it in.
okay.
So let me give you the, oh, you know what? Maybe I can just pull it up right. Let's see here. Sorry about all the.
Did we lose?
documents.
So George, would you take the moonlighting, you said out into the street from there, or would you also take it and go back in toward the house? So you would lead somebody through the gate essentially?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
But not real far because
No, just sort of the gate area,
right.
about as far out to the road as you would from the gate to the road, as well as from the gate to the inside.
I'm not gonna do that. I'm
No.
gonna cut it off. I'm gonna light the gate. It's a brown gate. And I'm gonna light maybe 5 feet, 6 feet
Beyond
behind the gate. And that's about it.
Okay,
I'm cutting back on what that area is gonna look like. I'm gonna go, because headlights, they're gonna have headlights on when they go.
right, true.
This is to sell the job. To be quite honest, this sells the job for the lighting design. This is when someone comes down the street to visit these clients, they're driving down, they're facing that one direction away and their eyes are looking left and looking at this beautiful entrance. And that's what I'm selling. Now, I'm lucky here because if you drive in there, the driveway curves off to the left. Well, no matter really what I do, they can't see the light source from the house. Now I'm shielding the lights so that I'm actually taking the shields and I'm turning them no more than that, but I'm shielding it from the street so you see nothing. Now, the tree on the right-hand side, I'm going to be shielding this way. So you don't see it from the street when you come in, and it's going to graze across that whole gate.
And the light will be open to the gate.
Yeah, and it'll pick up the columns and the gate and a little light behind it. And you'll actually see the verticals of the gate in the driveway, behind that gate.
Okay.
So it's going to be kind of interesting. And the other trees behind that are going to be uplights. I've got an image. Are you ready, Mark?
Almost. Sorry, I found it. I just never loaded it onto the PowerPoint here.
Okay.
So give me one more second here. I'm going to see if I can just pull it up right in here. Okay. Can you see this right now or no?
No.
No.
Okay. Let's do this.
The presentation is not up. It's just your camera.
I'm going to see if I can get back to that. There we go. Now let me see if I can share here. I don't know if that's going to show.
That's something.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing anything here. That, oh, here we go.
Oh,
Can you
there
see-
it is. Okay.
Nice.
Sorry about that.
You can see the date, it was March 2013.
So if you can see this plan layout here, you know, the home, I think this is the garage, and George will explain, but remember the gate we'd looked at when we first started? That was back up here.
Mm-hmm.
And then driving in through the gate. So the way George did, say again?
That's my talking clock, sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. So as we drive in, then see how George has these numbers? Those are the photos we're going to be looking at through this presentation,
Okay.
different areas. So do you use, I guess where I should let George talk on this, but George, are you showing this to your customer like this with these numbers on it? And then you'll say, here's, and then you
Oh,
show them the
no.
picture? Oh, okay.
No, I just did that for us. I would be showing them light fixtures, which I would give to my electrician. And specifically what I was going to do. And I would do another one with an overlay in color. I use light green for downlighting, dark green for uplighting, and yellow for accent lighting.
Okay.
Typically, that's, you know, I may change it. But
Mhm.
I'll do an overlay of that area, of the general area that we're actually lighting. And it shows the client, okay, this is the area, this is what this is going to look like. And if there's any dark areas, we can discuss it and say, okay, there's no lighting in these areas. Are you okay with that? Do you want more? What are you looking at? But that's the kind of print that I would not give that to the client unless they paid for a lighting design. Sometimes they pay for it, sometimes
Gotcha.
they do it. You have to learn how to price it. But
Gotcha.
you have to give this to the electrician and we have to get a permit from it. Most of the places that I work. But what I do give to the client is the tree locations where the dots are. And I would be putting the dark greens as uplighting and the light greens as downlighting there in shades and showing them generally what's lit. It makes a great way to do a presentation.
Okay.
So George, you actually go this far into a design process.
Every time.
Don't hand it off to the client and may not even charge at that point yet.
You know, I have a lot of clients I've worked with for 30 and 40 years.
No need to charge them.
Well, you know, this client I've worked with, I probably won't even charge her for the design. I'll just charge her my time coming back doing this. You know, I've already done it once. So I'll just whatever my hours are in it, that's what I'll bill them for. But if I'm going to a client I don't know, or, you know, it depends on the situation. Yeah, I go in with a proper design and show them the work, and then I would leave behind the illustration with the green, the dark green, light green, up lighting, down lighting, and accent lighting. And what that area is doing. Yeah, I'd leave that with them, along with a proposal.
Okay.
And I would do that whether they paid me or not. I mean, whether they give me a design fee or not. Because it's
So-
something they can't duplicate it. They don't know where I'm putting lights. They don't know what I'm putting. But it shows them the areas that are going to be lit. So yeah, it's a great lead behind.
It's
Right.
vague but specific in showing there's a moonlight here, there's an uplight here, but it's not. This fixture is going here.
Yeah, I'll have to show you some. I've got some on files that I can show you. I'll be glad to do that.
Definitely not an as-built for
No,
sure.
Yeah.
yeah,
No,
I
no.
totally get it.
No.
So just a conceptual.
Mhm.
Yep.
And you have to tell the client, say, look, I may use another fixture, I may add something, I may do something. This is artwork, not engineering. And I'm out in the field, I'm gonna make some adjustments, I'm gonna do this. This is not hard engineering. This is artwork. And you have to understand that. I will probably make some changes. Minor, but this is artwork.
Very good.
So
Showing-
the idea is, so I just want to show you, you're coming in the gate, you see how you're riding by? Okay, as you're coming in the gate, you'll see that, I got a picture looking through the gate. Number 6, service. It's more than service, it's how FedEx and it's how I go in a lot of times if the gate's locked. I can just slip in there. There, to area number 7 is a circle, you'll see that picture. Number 8 is a pathway. There's a tall palm tree back by number 8. It's back, Mark, I guess you can see it. It's actually where
here it is over here.
Yeah, they bury their pets back in the pet cemetery.
Oh, wow.
I did a lot of uplighting and some unique things back in 2013. Not going to do it anymore. We'll talk about that. Coming back to number 11, it's a real mess. It's a big ficus tree. It's a lot of pruning, a lot of work goes into that. If you come forward, that house, it's an upstairs staff quarters and garage. There's 2 difficult trees to work with on either side. They're magnolias. They're really difficult. The area 9A, B, and C, they bought that extra area. And we're going to be lighting that, I think, with about 4 fixtures. I'll show you how I'm doing that. And that's just projecting light on walls. There's a picket fence, and right there, there's a picket fence there. And some hedging. I'm going to be lighting that the same way. I'm just going to be projecting light onto it with 2 lights. 2 lights are going to light that whole hedge. And then beyond it, about 4 or 5 lights are going to light that entire area. So you'll see it's just just creating depth. And you'll see that one. Okay, how the house, we can talk about that. I'm not doing anything up beyond area 16, which is up in the top. That's almost nothing. They don't use it. The pool area you're going to like. 13A and B, that's a neat area. It's a way of doing a lot with a little. And then out beyond the property, they own over to a dock. That's on the lake. And we're doing 2 lights per tree for palm trees, and that's going to look the same. We're just going to make that, just clean it up a little bit. So you'll see that. So at least you see the direction of what we're going. Because as you come in, you're making that turn, you can do almost anything at the gate. And the weaker areas are coming around to the inside. That's the weaker area, right? Just to the top of that number 11. We've got problems in there. Hard way to do that.
Okay.
Okay, let's go attack it. Let's go attack.
Let me get out of this and I'll go back. And hopefully. Come on. Oh, here we go. Sorry. Okay, here we go. Can you guys see that okay still?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So that's the night one. Let's go to the next one. That's on the left side of that gate. There's the keypad that George was talking about.
Okay, now look, Mark, if you'll take your cursor up to the center of the tree, up, 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 up. That's not bad. Come down. There you go. Come over to the other limb. There's 3 limbs to the right, to the right, to the right.
Right in here?
Yeah. On the right-hand side, there's 3 limbs. Right in there, come up that main limb right there, stop. There's a light area. Yeah. That's about where the light is going to be, on the back side of that limb, coming across the driveway. That's where I'm going to put it. And if you're doing people heights, 6 feet tall, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. It's about 24, 25 feet high. So if you're doing a 1-to-1 ratio, you're gonna come across it down this way, and you're gonna extend shadows out about 25 feet. And from out there, you will not see where the light came from.
Mm-hmm.
That's where
Because the
that,
shield is gonna be open towards the gate and closed toward the street.
exactly, it's gonna be what I call a 6 o'clock shield.
Okay.
The screw is at the bottom, and it's gonna be flat and down just a little bit, so you'd never see anything from the street, and that's the key. The source has got to be invisible from the street.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you can see a limb that comes out. Come down low. Lower, slowly, there. There's a limb that goes off to the left. Can you see it low? Yeah. Right in there is where the uplight is going to be. It's a natural place. It gets away from the trunk, and they're going to prune the tree open again and go right up through the center of the tree. So that's where that's going to be.
And you're gonna put that out 4 or 5 feet on that branch?
Maybe 3 feet, yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And right on top of the branch, going straight up.
Well, no, that's the other thing.
Uh,
Can you see, okay, you look at my arm.
Yeah,
I would not put the light here. I
okay,
would put the light here. On, right in here.
so you're hiding a lot of it with the branch.
You hide half of it, okay? And then the elbow bends, and that gives you, it gives you a lot more adjustability.
Okay.
If you put it up on top of the limb right there,
Mm-hmm.
all you can do is right or left.
Right. On the
Yeah.
side of the branch, you could turn it this way as well as
This way,
tilt it
this
as
way,
well as
and then
pan
this
it.
way, and then this way, this way, this way, this way.
Right.
Gives you the adjustability. Okay, good point.
I think the other thing to mention on that too is I found that just like with cable attachment in the trees is that if you put it right on top there and we have a lot of rodent problems with the rats and squirrels, and they want to chew on all those things. So if you can offset them on the branch so that it's not running right across the top, you'll have less likely to have damage in there. So
Mhm.
Good point.
Mhm. Now you can do this with MR16s, with the 7-watt MR16s too. It'll
Mhm.
look very nice. It just won't be as soft as the par 30s. The par 30s give you a much softer spray. They're going to be a little bit too bright, but I'll dim them. I'll touch them up with the black paint. I call it filter. I call it a custom filter paint, but it's black, high temperature black paint.
Yep.
And you just spray it right on the bulb, just let it sort of fall onto, not spray it directly, just let it sort of fall onto the light bulb.
No, I spray it directly on the bulb,
Okay.
or the lens. If it's uplight, it's going to be lens. However, I'm about that far from it, and
So it's just kind of falling on it.
it's just like light touch.
Yeah.
Let it dry, look at it, and then hit it again. And I have somebody else do it, because if you're looking into it, you go night blind, you can't see.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to be back looking at it when they're doing it. You can't really do it yourself. You can, but drive you nuts. It takes two people. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, this is the same tree, okay? There's a real bright spot that the sun was right there. See the bright spot?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Lens flare.
there's a horizontal bright spot right there. If you go up above that, there's another limb. You can just make it out. Yeah, that's it right there, and you're right there. That's the downlight that's going to come across this hedge and wash this. Yeah,
Okay.
you can see it.
Right.
So the center line of the light would be between that large white boulder and the hedge on the left side of the frame.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So it spills onto both sides, the driveway as well as the hedge.
That's the idea. You're creating, you've got the one downlight coming across the driveway and then one coming back across this hedge. So it
Okay,
appears
so
that,
two downlights.
it appears that everything is lit, but you'll have shadows. Then you're creating the base. As a matter of fact, there is a light, an uplight there on that limb I was telling you about. You can see it if you can climb, if you can go into it.
I see a cord going up there.
Yeah, it's messed up and old. The electricians have messed with it. But that's where it is. It's a great spot for it. Questions? Let's go to the next one. Okay, this is looking through, obviously. I'm gonna make some changes here. I'm gonna do lighting from the ground straight up. I'm not gonna do anything in the trees here. I want it survivable. I want the electricians and maintenance people to be able to maintain this. I'm gonna come back about 30 inches off those trees. I'm probably gonna be, well, I'm setting this up so that it's gonna be perfect as you drive in. I'm not as worried about it as you're driving out, because the headlights will be on, the people, the guests will have come in, they will have seen this, and we're gonna photograph it from the street. So I'm setting this up for that. The shields would be high side toward the gate. And Mark, okay, go to the tree, on that tree right there. Come forward, just see the white flowers in front of the tree? Come forward just a little bit more. Yeah, that's about the angle I want. So I'm gonna be right about there. And you see how the tree kind of opens up that way? I'm gonna be about 30 inches away from that tree. The tree opens up really nice and it go up through the tree. That's gonna be one. Now you go across to the other tree at the same angle, across the road.
Or over here.
Yeah, you're there, about 30 inches off. We're gonna match the same thing, same distance, same angle. That's perfect. And I'm just gonna do an uplight there. I may, you can see where the sunlight is hitting one of those limbs on that tree. See the bright spot on that tree? No, go lower, lower, right there. I may prune that. I may even cut that whole limb, that branch, so that the light goes up evenly through the tree. I'm probably going to thin it or prune it. I'm not sure. The other tree we were just in, the first tree, I'm going to thin out the center of that tree, not the outside, but I'm going to thin it so that light goes all the way up through it. That's just pruning. Now behind that tree, there's two more trees. I guess there's one more tree. I'm going to change the angle on that. I'm going to come, Mark, if you'll go left. Yeah, that's about where I'm going to put the light, behind that tree, but in that donut, or that tree behind that. Yeah, that tree. That's where that's going to go. And the tree at the end of the driveway. No, go to the end center driveway. Yeah, that one. That's going to be in the little donut planting, one straight up. I did have a downlight in that, a small downlight, a par 20 actually. I'm not going to do that this time. I may come back and add it. But behind that, I'm going to do two floods. They're going to be par 30s with long shields. I'll turn the shields almost upside down so I don't get any light on the grass. And I'm going to light all those plantings. That's one level. Now, the intensity of it will depend upon what I do in the back. If you'll remember on that print, there's a gate which you can't see through that hedge, and there's a big square area. And there's some tall trees behind it, this lawn and tall trees. We're going to light that, and one's going to become the other. This front tree will be a little bit brighter. Then the hedge is going to be a little bit softer and a little bit softer yet. So there's three different levels. happening, but it's all gonna be lit. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
Sir.
Mhm.
How tall of a riser or extension are you putting on these to raise the light level off the ground?
The fixture is gonna be 18 inches, actually, not 18 inches. I've got a permapost. The top of the fixture. Now, the shields on this one are the short shields. The shield is three inches from the. Actually, it's 2.5 inches from the short side of the light fixture, the bad side, to 4 inches on the high side. The high side will be facing us. The open side will be to the back.
Mhm.
And the top of that light fixture will be just above the top of that donut planting.
Is that ground cover around the base of those trees?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I hate that stuff, but it works. It works. Yeah. And a lot of times what they'll do is they'll plant impatiens on the outside of that. So there'll be white impatiens outside to be a double donut.
And
Right.
what kind of trees are those? I mean, it's a little hard to tell, and it's Florida, so they're not the same trees as we have in Illinois. That's for sure.
No,
I mean, it's not a magnolia with a big waxy dark green leaf.
no.
Say they were ficus or?
They're not ficus.
That's all right. But
I'll think of the name of it.
just curious more than anything else.
Yeah, they're just they're almost like a small oak or a
Okay.
small black olive type thing. They're just
Mhm.
they're not a schefflera, but they're in that family, and I could think of it.
That's fine.
Yeah, let's go to the next one. Okay, now here's that area to the pet cemetery and the walkway through to the main house. The main house is just beyond that circle over on the right-hand side. And you
Mhm.
can see the garage and staff quarters right there. What I'm gonna do here, there's a little gate that you walk through. I'm gonna do an uplight on either side in the ground cover. I'm gonna do a bullet light. You could do 7-watt MR16. I'm gonna keep everything the same and do par 30s because I like the spreads on it, and I'll dim it. Par 30s I think are gonna be about 11-12 watts anyway. And we'll soften it. So it'll be an uplight on either side. As you walk through the high side of the shield, and again, it'll be the short shields, not the long ones. So it's about 1.5 inches taller on one side than the other. And as you walk in, you won't see anything, but the whole top will glow. I'm not going to do any downlighting. I could. Originally, I did have a downlight. If you look at the very top, you'll see a limb at the top left, kind of a heavy limb. Yeah, it goes up over the center of that. And I'll tell you what was cool. I had an MR 11 straight overhead coming down through the leaves on that. It was really pretty. It was almost right over the gate entrance. It was really neat. The hurricanes took it away.
Mm.
You know, it depends on your client. You could really do something nice with that. I'm trying to simplify the effect. You could also suspend a decorative lantern through there. Could be a very, very nice look. You could do, you know, you could do walkway lights. You could do those bollards that I like with the leaf patterns. They would look great through there. I mean, guys, there's a number of there's no right way to do it. I'm just telling you what I'm doing right now. But my God, you could do a great thing.
Right.
Now, what will look nice? Now, here's the other thing. See that center circle? You could come up in one of those You'll see some trees going through it. Next slide. Okay, I'm gonna be using one of those tall palm trees. They're clusters of 3. And I'm gonna be coming from that side, Mark, you're right,
Mhm.
that side, working from right to left as I come in. You could do an MR11, a very narrow spot down to that center. That's only about 36 inches, 40 inches in diameter. You could spotlight that and just light that, and it would be killer.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do the par 30 again, because I'm gonna like the area generally. I'm gonna do 2 uplights, another par 30s on either side of those 2 palm trees. I'm gonna come out, yeah, somewhere in there, maybe about 24 inches out from those trees. I'll match the distance on one to the other, so it's very matched. What you could do if you wanted to, you could come inside of those trees, and about 6 feet up above eye level, you could mount little uplights in there and uplight those palms. You could do it with MR16s, or you could do it with larger fixtures. I just chose not to. I want to keep it very simple.
Mhm.
But it would be a beautiful way to do that, because you'd never see where the light came from.
And you create an entrance or from that by highlighting those 2 trees.
Uh-huh. Yep. And that's really all you have to do. Now, the next photograph is going to show you to the left. Now, could you do a lot through there? Oh, dear God, yes. You could make that just a beautiful jungle. There's a beautiful tree. There's ficus tree on the banyan tree on the right. All I'm going to do is I'm going to take that tall tree, that tall palm tree, that one right there. Now I'm going to go up real tall on that. I probably will need a 40-foot ladder and get it up 35, 40 feet. And you're exactly right, Mark. On the right side of that, I'm going to come across and come straight down to this path. And the light will stop right about there, right where you had that on the path. It'll stop about there. So as I'm looking at it, I won't see where anything happens, but it'll be like a moonlight night. Will I uplight that palm tree? Probably not, because all I'm trying to do is light the path. If I was really doing it for show, yeah, you're darn right. I'd uplight that, very much so. I'd uplight the tree on the right. I'm not doing it. There's a pet cemetery, like I say, just beyond that. I'm going to put another light on the back side of the tree, on the left side of that palm tree, and go back down the other way. I'm going to turn the shield. Now, here's the deal. Instead of going straight down with the shield like this, I'm going to turn the shield almost like that. So the slice you won't see as you look down. You will see it if you were in that garden that we're going to light, that square, that rectangular garden. If you were over in there, yeah, you could look up through some of the trees and see where that came from. But from here, that's all I care about, is I want to light that area if they want to go back there and whatever they're going to do at night. It gives them some security, and that's all I'm doing. But could you do more? Oh yeah. And I'm doing that with that palm tree. I'm putting 2 lights on that for budget. There's another tall tree behind there that I could have come this way with it. I could have worked it. I could have done it a lot more beautiful. But I'm just working for budget. That make sense?
Yeah.
Can we get these same types of fixtures? I think you had mentioned last month, similar fixtures in a low voltage would be through that company. Was it Tech Light?
Tech Light, yeah. But
Okay.
any of the MR16s with a longer shield, you'd have to make your own shields. And I suggest you do that. If you're going to get into downlighting, be glad to help you. All you need is a shield that will wrap around the outside of the cylinder, and make, probably the high side would be 5 inches. And the short side would be 1 inch. You could even go, I would go 6 inches on the long side and 1 inch, and then just wrap the light around the shield. And we can work with things like that. On the uplights, I work with, I probably on an MR16, 1 inch drop. So if I had a fixture that was a shield that was 2 inches, and drop it down to 1 inch. And that'll work beautifully for you. That way you can actually pull the fixture back beyond the vertical and still not see into the fixture. Makes it very soft. Makes it beautiful.
You know, there are some companies, because I do most everything I'm working with is MR16.
Mhm.
They have those external shrouds that, with a little lock nut on it so you can slide them around. A lot of these manufacturers will custom cut the
Yes,
end
they
of the shield for you too. So like if it's, an extreme angle, let's say like a 60-degree or something, they can do 45, they can do 30, they can do almost anything you want. They can do a flat 90-degree cut, whatever you want
Yes, they
on
can.
that. Yeah, which is nice. So,
Yeah, it's and a lot of them are just glad to do it for you.
yeah.
I'm used to the old way. I like the 2-piece that again, it's technique. I can actually skew those shields. I can take a shield and pull it, twist it, turn it a little bit, that you just, with a lightweight copper shield or a lightweight aluminum shield, that you just can't do with some of the heavy brass stuff.
Yeah,
By the way,
that's true. Yeah.
see, this is me. And then we're in a very high salt environment. I have to use lightweight copper. And we have to, putting lights in trees, you want light fixtures. You don't want the heavy brass fixtures.
Hmm.
And because it weights down the limbs. That's why this technique, you need light fixtures.
Lightweight.
Let's go to the next one.
Okay.
Okay. This is that rectangular garden that I was talking about. What I'm gonna do, these are
It needs more palms. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah. Well, the house is actually on the other side. That actually the garage
Mhm.
servants' quarters is on the other side of this. They don't do anything with this.
Mm-hmm.
When their grandkids were small, they had a playground out here. They had beautiful little kids' pink houses. And they don't do anything with this. They don't even walk out at night. These are orange trees that they can't get oranges to grow.
Mm. Wow.
But I'm going to be back. There's 2 orange trees here, and there's 2 orange trees on the other side. I'm going to be on the back side. Well, you kind of see the dark area in the corner. Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
We
here.
had a power thing. So,
Oh, okay.
okay. Yeah, come back, Mark. Come back to the corner of the right. Right, yeah. Right about in there on the ground, I'm going to be washing all the way across that area.
This way.
Yeah. And then come down. No. See this, go to the middle of the picture, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to be lighting that area, but I'm going to be doing it from over on the side. Come back to the side. Come back to the side.
Oh, over here.
Okay. See you, Owen.
Oh,
Gonna be back down here.
okay.
Down on the ground. No. Dead center. Just come to the center of the grass and go forward. Right there on the grass.
Okay.
Right there is where I'm going to be lighting across that way. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So I'm
Okay.
just going to be floodlighting the entire thing. And again, you've got to go out there at night and you're going to be adjusting it to get the best angles. You know, this is all hand, this is just handwork.
Yep.
Let's do the next one. By the way, this is using a long shield when you do this. These are long shield shots.
But from the ground.
From the ground. Take the long shield, slice it so you're not lighting the grass. And you can do it with MR16s, you can do it with larger fixtures, it doesn't make any difference. And you're just gonna be,
And you're just cross lighting it.
you're cross lighting. You're lighting a lot with a little. Yeah, you could go inside and uplight each one of those groups and do all kinds of things. Yeah, absolutely you could.
You're just creating a background for it.
Yep. You know, you could go in and highlight the bench. I mean, you could,
Mhm.
but I'm trying to save them money. I'm trying, you know, it's a big property. I'm trying to make it survivable. And that's the way I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
Any thoughts on it? You guys know how to do it?
I like it. I think I would definitely do something with the bench though, or in that general area.
Mhm.
Maybe do something a little in that corner. Just so that they know, okay, there's a destination point. You cross, you wash your light across the back. You know, it just makes it pop a little bit more.
Yep. Yeah.
If you put a light behind that bench and lit whatever the green
Yeah.
material is behind the bench, then the bench would go a little silhouette.
Yeah.
And if the two trees on either side were lit slightly, or even on the back side of the trees, you create a destination.
Now that
People
would
know
be very
to go
nice.
there.
Chris, that would be beautiful. Yeah,
Yeah.
that really would.
So all sort of backlight back there.
Yeah.
Mm.
Light
Yep.
those two trees, backlight the bench. Oh yeah, be gorgeous.
Very good.
Mhm.
Gonna go to the next one.
Yep,
That's the other side.
that's the other side.
Okay. Now we're
Okay.
back up to the drive area, that circle entering.
Yeah, now see around those donuts, they'll plant white impatiens on the outside. They'll do separate donuts. The trick here, and I did this back in 2013. I did two lights on this tree right in front, going right and left, and then one on the other tree. And it backlit that entire wall. And I kept the light up, I turned the shield so you didn't see any light on the grass. And I just did the backdrop. Each tree was uplit. And this time I'm gonna do it from the ground, just to keep it simple for the maintenance.
Yeah. Nice.
And you're in the middle of whatever that plant material is that is around the tree and raised up so that the top of the light is basically at the top of the plant material.
That's the way I'm gonna do it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see how they've lollipopped those trees.
Yeah.
They've kept them from growing. And that's the kind of look they wanted.
Yep. Nice.
Now, what could you do? Oh my God. You could get up inside those trees and do the shadow patterns that you see right there, the sunlight's giving.
Mhm.
And the MR16s would be just spectacular for that. You'd have to clean up the inside of that tree, which I'll clean up a lot of it to get light through it anyway. But yeah, you could do the uplight there and downlight. You could this one tree, the dead center, you can see where you could put a light and uplight on the back side of that limb that comes out,
yeah.
on a limb. Yeah, that just go straight up. Stop. That limb, yeah, on the back side of that going straight up. I think that's where I did put the light. That's where the uplight would go. And then the downlight coming through, creating those shadows. Oh yeah, it's killer. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna stop it. I mean that's where I would put that light. Go to the tree on the left. You see the limb that goes out? Yeah, right there. There's your uplight up through the center of that tree. That's the way to do it. I'm not doing it this time. I'm putting it in the grass. The other one, the tree out by the gate, well, you can see where you can put it. There's one that goes out right there.
Yep.
That's where it goes, straight up. Yeah, and it would be, be perfect. And then you could do the shadows down from that. And the concentrated beam of a 7-watt MR16 coming through that, going up and down, just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Now, what else would you guys do?
Without seeing the other side of it, I don't know that I would do anything else.
Yeah, I think I still like your idea of that backdrop, pick up a little bit for some depth in there
Mhm.
and not do too much more just because then it may, if you do too much, then it may start pulling the attention into this area.
Well,
More
you've got it right across from it. You've got that gated area
Yeah,
with a bench. So you've got to match the intensity
yeah,
from there to the other side. So you're right. And it's
Yep.
setting that light level, your backdrops have got to be the same.
hmm
Very good. Okay, this is the next one. Okay, that's looking back toward the gate. That's this little horrible thing that they've let go. It's just a massive crap up through the center of it. And it's a very thick tree, and I'm gonna have to go in. They'll never know that I did anything inside of it, but I've got to open up the center of that tree. And Mom and something like that.
How long does it take your guy to prune something like that, George? Like to clean that out?
Well,
Is that several hours or
it's an hour,
okay?
maybe less.
And is that your electrician that's doing that, or is it you bring in a tree
No,
guy to do that?
my electrician and my electrician
Okay.
is very good. That's what we do.
Right.
Shaping these trees is the trick to really all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's going to be 3 uplights in that tree, and it's going to be 3 par 30s. You almost can't overlight it.
Because it's so dense.
It's so dense. So we're going to open it up, do 3 uplights, and this is deceiving now because this tree, the spread on it is probably every bit of 20 feet, maybe bigger. So we're going to tripod it, and you need to have it high, the uplights high enough above, you have to have them above eye level, so you don't see into the fixture.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then the downlights will be tripoded too. There'll be 3 of them.
So you would do 3.
Sorry?
So you would do 3. I said
Yeah.
you would do 3. That's what I was thinking, 3.
Yeah,
Right.
this is a piece of sculpture. This is you're driving in, this is what you're seeing. I'm gonna be, as you're looking at it here, 2 of them are, one's gonna be aimed almost where you have that, let's see, no mark that
Not here
yeah, well,
or here.
go further out. It's gonna be aimed toward the front coming in rather than
Oh.
coming out. One coming out is gonna be, from there, come out in the driveway, driveway, stones.
This driveway?
Yeah, come to the house.
Okay.
Okay, dead center of the picture of the photograph. Go to
Oh.
dead center of the photograph. All right, now come down, 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 and just a hair to the left. Left. All right, go forward a little bit. Yeah, that's pretty much where the focal point of the downlight and shadows is going to be. So you'll have shadows out to about there.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, you're going to go forward. I wish I could point, but you're going to go forward to the right and left of that red car.
Yeah.
Okay.
Over here.
Now, I may do one more thing. Over the top of that red car, there's a small limb. I may be up high in that and bring a light back down to the tree trunk. I call it a trunk light. And I may come down and it'll light the front center. It'll pick up the flowers and the trunk. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lights in that tree, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
And with that many lights, hiding that many fixtures is a nightmare.
Yeah.
You can get it perfect. You pick the direction you're going to photograph it, okay? This one is hard to do. You have to decide, do I want the guests when they leave the front door, which is, the front door is behind us. When they come out the front door at night, they've been there at a party, do I want them to see that? Or do I want them to see it driving in? And my initial thought is to have them see this when they walk out of the front door and see this. And sell that image rather than coming in.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'll shape that. That's my thinking on it.
Or add one more light so you got both sides. You know?
I can't hide them. It's too much. I can't hide them.
That's a lot of lights.
It's
Yeah.
a lot. It's a
A
lot.
lot of lights to hide in a tree.
Yeah, I made 86 the trunk light because I'm going to have enough light coming through the tree anyway.
Mm-hmm.
This is one that drives me crazy. And
Is the tree tall enough on the left side of frame to light between that island and the bottom of the frame with a trunk light or a moonlight?
no,
No.
no. It's all got to be done tightly from inside that thing.
Okay.
And yeah, it's quite a little trick.
Okay.
You see the magnolia tree over there, that's easy to pick out. Uplighting that is a nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
I will
Big way.
thin that out. I'll cut leaves up through the center of it. It'll look good for about a month. Go back. I'll uplight that from the ground. I think I have an uplight in the tree. I because it's still there. It survived, but I'm just going to put it on the ground. Do the same thing with another one on by the other end of the house.
Mm-hmm.
Now there are coach lights on the house. Yeah, they're dimmed, and we set those as part of the lighting of the driveway. That's part of our lighting design. Don't ever forget those. They work beautifully. They add a lot to the design.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Let's go to the next one. Okay, there's the house, obviously. 2 lights per tree. They're actually in that boxwood hedge right now. I'm just going to bring them up just a little bit because the landscapers have overgrown it by an inch or 2. And that 2 lights per tree, it looks very nice. They have the 3 coach lights over the center. They look nice. They're dimmed. I'm gonna light the two small palms behind it. That one and the one on the other side. I'm gonna be below it with par 20s. Or the 7-watt MR16s. And gonna be out. I'll pick the distance. I'll probably be 5 or 6 feet out from those. But I'm gonna have shadows going up the house.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be quite pretty. It'll light the tree and the shadows will just be there. And they'll go, oh, this is pretty.
Yeah.
Could I uplight the house? Yeah, I could. I'm not. Would
House
you
is
do
boring,
it?
the entrance is exciting.
Mhm.
Mhm. I mean, you could do those rectangular wall washers and uplight the house. It'd be beautiful. I think it would be hard to do because you'd have a very difficult way of evenly lighting the upstairs above that entrance. How would
Yeah.
you, without creating dark shadows and weirdness? So really, that's why and it's Palm Beach. I don't like doing that unless it's really obvious.
Mm-hmm. Are you
And
gonna do?
what about the step?
Yeah.
They've got two Kim
Yeah.
downlights that are lighting those two dogs. I'm leaving that alone. Are there better ways to do it? Oh, God, yes. But
What about the step from the driveway up to there, that step?
yeah, it's
Do you
they're
put
coming
path light
closer.
on either side, or do you do a
Yeah.
down light out of the
You
palm
see-
trees to light that step?
I don't like to put lights inside in those trees. They're so expensive. These things run about $20,000 each.
The trees,
The
the palm
trees.
trees.
Yeah,
Wow.
they're canary
Okay.
date palms in that size, and you don't want to mess with those.
Okay.
And I don't like to run conduit up anything that expensive or that nice. But if you look behind the dogs, see those little Kim fixtures, those little green piece of shit?
Yeah.
Sorry. That's gonna actually light the step, and you've got enough lighting up here with the coach lights that you're gonna light it. Can you do a better job of it? Oh, yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, you definitely could. Am I gonna do it? No.
Okay.
What would you guys do?
I was just thinking a path light on either side of that step.
Yeah.
And the center is not gonna be lit, but the step would be lit so that nobody would trip and fall.
Mhm.
That's the only thing I thought. And I don't know what light bulbs are in those two fixtures on the left and right, but my belief is always if it's a clear glass fixture, it should be a clear light bulb. So that you don't see the frosted light bulb during the daytime.
Okay.
Well, yeah, that's interesting, and you're right, it's prettier. I always try to have, these were actually made by a company that, actually, the guy's name is Artistica. They're not UL listed. They were made in the Dominican Republic, all of those. And we acid etch that stuff so you don't see the inside of it. They bought them and I don't complain about them. You know, if you know the story behind why they did it, you know, it's one of those things.
Yeah.
Sentimental about the guy down there. That's fine. You don't do it. But I frost it. I frost that stuff. Or we'll put a lantern, like a chimney in there with a frosted thing and a frosted chimney and do that. But yeah, you're exactly right. Clear with clear. But the other problem is clear with clear. If you don't dim them tremendously.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be too glaring.
Oh, man.
Yeah, no,
You can't let the clients get away with it.
no. No.
And they'll say, oh, well, if you want it dimmer, I'll just put a dimmer light bulb in it. Well, that doesn't work. They burn it 100%. You've got to really dim it.
Nice.
Next one.
To the right of it, the entry.
I'm not gonna like that. I'm just not gonna do it. I could put a light behind the palm tree and light that area. I may have to do that. They may want that, but I'm trying to watch budget.
Mm-hmm.
But if you did that one, is there another one on the left side of the house that you could do as well?
On the left side, we have to do something because it's a more formal garden.
Just for balance sake, left and right.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, I agree. It would certainly look better. Definitely.
But if you don't do that one, then you don't have to do one on the other side.
Yeah,
If there is a,
I do. You'll see why.
oh, okay.
Go ahead to the next one.
Nope.
Yeah, there it is. Well, yeah. That's actually a garden that they use. They walk back, that's the kitchen area. And it walks back to the dock. They actually use that. I'm uplighting the 3 palms, of course, and the 3 palms on the other side.
But that's around the corner, right?
No, go back to the other one then.
So that's right there.
Yeah, go to the other one. Yeah, see the palms on the corner?
Yeah, yeah,
I'm anchoring the house there. I'm trying to make that do it.
okay.
But you're absolutely right. I would love to do that. Now, from behind those 3 palms, I'm gonna go to the next one. Yeah, that's what you're looking at. I'm gonna come back in this garden up close and light across to the wall. I'll keep the light over across the grass. I won't light the grass. And I'll light the guest house and the garage area. I'll light all of that with one fixture.
And you're gonna light that from the right side, from the house, shooting across?
Yeah. I
So
think
just a big wash.
I just a big wash, very soft. And then from behind those 3 palm trees, those little 3 palms, I'm gonna uplight that big tree in the back,
This one or the large tree?
the large tree. I actually have lights in that tree and a downlight bringing shadows out in here. I've got to bring an arborist in to do that, and they don't want to do that anymore. So I'm just going to do 2 lights and flood the area. The trick is going to be hands-on, adjusting it, making it all look even.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the trick. Being there at night and doing it.
Yeah.
You're not concerned with people walking that pathway and the light coming from the right side and washing the building on the left side of them walking through the light and then turning and looking at the light?
Yeah, that's why I did it originally from that big tree, and I actually put a downlight on on the building on the left. Yeah, you're exactly right. I did that. This time, they don't want to deal with all that. They're older. They want it simple, and you're beautiful point. But I'm doing it this time. Different purpose.
Okay.
Okay.
And this is really a good exercise because it's like, okay, what does the client want?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And you had the discussion with the client, and that's why
Yes, sir.
I just think people walking through the light, they're going to turn and look at the light.
Oh,
and-
you're absolutely right.
and then they're going to get somewhat blinded and then have to figure out where they're walking again.
Yeah, if the top left of the picture, you can see I had actually, you can imagine where I had the downlight coming across.
Yeah.
This pathway beautifully. And from those trees, I had 2 downlights coming with shadows out in the lawn. Just absolutely stunning. But getting them to work and getting with our hurricanes and storms and They just don't want to deal with it.
Mhm.
And I don't blame them. They're getting older. So am
Well, this isn't died, but you know,
I. Yeah. Let's go to the next one.
Oops.
Yeah, this is the same area. This is an area they really use.
Yeah.
That's off of the dining room. And I'm gonna do one light, and if there's a bed where I'm pretty much where I'm standing. To take this photograph. So in the right corner, I'm gonna uplight that tree. I had a well light underneath that tree. Because it wasn't that big 11 years ago. I'm just gonna flood it. I'm gonna turn the shield, like I said, turn the shield like that. And get it up, get the light above the grass and just pick up that tree. So that from that patio, they'll have a very nice look. And it'll pick up some light all across that hedge and the tree. Again, hand adjusting, and it's all how you do it at night. Behind the sofa over there, you can go to the next photograph. Yeah, behind this hedge, I'm gonna do 2 lights. Probably behind this column on the left, behind this little bush. I'm gonna light the wall back there with 2 lights. Turn it the same way, keep the lights up off the grass and flood the backdrop. It's gonna be very pretty and very simple when you do that. I had lights in those trees, I had shadows coming across. I don't want to mess with that. That's
so by putting the fixtures on the ground, you're trying to lessen their maintenance issues that they would have.
yes. And it's
Just
something
go out
that's
there and get a
simple.
climber.
Yeah, it's something that you can show their groundskeepers and their landscape people. Hopefully, that they can maintain it. Go to the house for the next picture. This is what it looks like from the pool. Looking back at it. This is very simple. The electricians put the lights on the palm trees. It didn't have them looking like that, but after some storms, they did, and I just adjusted them the best I could. There's a shield off on the one on the right.
Yeah.
What I'm gonna do, and by the way, with palm trees, there's no bark. So if you make a hole in a palm tree, you've got to put a screw back in where you put those holes in. Because insects will attack the tree, and then you get all kinds of problems. So what I'll do is 2 lights on each tree, one on each tree, one coming forward and one coming across. The ones coming across will meet in the center, so it'll exactly light the pool. And then those will light across the ends of the pool. Very simple. The coach lights will all be on dimmers. They've got lights at the top, lights at the bottom, and lights in behind those columns. It's just very pretty, and you'll see. I think one of the next photographs you'll kind of see what it looked like. Oh, okay. We're gonna light. This is the backdrop, obviously. Yeah, you'll see what it looks like. 2 lights per tree. Yeah. See how even it looked, and it's being done from those. It's really all being done from those palm trees.
That's pretty.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's a beautiful look. Very simple. Yeah. That side, we never did much with that. I'm gonna talk to them about it and see if they want to uplight the tree on the left. And then from behind, and from behind that little tree, that little orange tree. Yeah, behind that, probably I might even go back all the way over further. And I might do 2 lights and flood across the back. I'll talk to them about that and see if they want to do it. It's all about the expense. The power's been run, so we'll see what they want to do. See how good the stock market's been. But that's the project.
Nice.
Nice,
Beautiful.
pretty.
Yeah.
I like the palm trees. I like the view from the house looking out into the water across the pool.
Oh,
That-
it's
Yeah, that,
spectacular. Yeah,
yeah.
it's quite a
But
look.
I can envision that with lights on it and from the slide after that. Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah,
Yeah, it's quite a nice look. And of course, I did that with a cell phone back in 2013. So
pretty.
yeah, it's and the color on this is all going to be incandescent. It's going to be the 2700K.
Okay.
But the pool
Maybe-
looks like,
maybe
well, the
two.
pool is blue, so it's gonna, even if you have incandescent lights on a blue pool, it's still gonna look cool.
Oh, it's going to look cool.
Yeah.
But
Beautiful.
that's the project. Did you pick up anything? Did I confuse you? Did I help out?
No, I think it's
You
great.
confused me. I think
Always
it's great.
good tips and the issues to think about for sure. Yep.
So George, I've been quiet most of the time or all the time, but you use a lot of PARs. It's not a fixture that's in my wheelhouse. It was years ago when we first started out, maybe 20 years ago or so.
Right.
So now we're MR16. We use fixtures that don't hide, don't shield the light as much. And so you like to use 7 watt and 60 degree. And if there is, 10.76 foot candles per lumen or whatever that is, what do you use as far as, huh?
I use that. I use a 7 watt.
Okay.
Um,
Because I've spec'd a project this week, all 7 watts, all of
Sure.
them.
Yeah.
We did, it's 23 trees in the way far back of an acreage. And I didn't hesitate.
No.
And then we're using 4,000 Kelvin up and 3,000 down.
keep it simple.
Yeah, yeah.
For maintenance purposes, don't change wattages.
Yeah.
You can dust a lens and adjust it very
Sure.
easily.
Yeah.
But you really won't have to. Soft is better. If you get into custom shielding, you make a big difference.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much, man. You made the difference. Okay.
Yeah.
You
Thank
did.
you.
You're welcome.
That was
And
great.
if you need help in wanting to design some shields for you, I can show you how to do that so simple.
Okay. I appreciate that. And I may. Okay. made it.
And besides, that will set you guys apart.
Yeah.
If you learn how to do it, it's really pretty cool.
Sure.
We need to do some hands-on stuff.
Yeah.
Show you the difference.
Exactly.
I don't like fixtures that have an array and then we have to throw the fixture away. I don't like that.
No. No, drop in only. Yeah.
My access to 36 watt fixtures in par 30s, par 36s actually. Par 30 is a 36 watt, and I've got a 50 watt par 38. That's an array in low voltage.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Actually, Emory Allen has one of those. They have those. So,
Mhm.
yeah,
Again, when you're doing that, it's all shielded.
absolutely. Yeah. But George, thanks, man. You're just an inspiration,
Well, thank you very much.
George,
Great.
you talked about knocking a light down by spray painting the lens. And then
Yes.
you also said that you could put aluminum screening or screening in it. And that's something that I borrowed from the film business. The film business, all of the lights come with what they call a scrim, which is really just a piece of screening in a metal frame that you
Where I
drop.
got the idea.
into the light. And I carry around a little squares of aluminum screening in my tool bit kit so that I could take the lens out, push it up inside behind the lens, and then put it back in the light to knock it down. And if you want to do 2 layers, you have to crisscross them so that it makes a little bit more dense screening material.
Works
And
better
in the
than,
film business, it was called a single and a double. And sometimes you would put, if the DP put the wrong light up there, you would end up putting 2 or 3 doubles in it and knocking it down to the point where it was like, okay, now that's the right light, but it's the wrong light. You know, you should have started with a smaller light to begin with, but
well,
you
you
know.
don't think that was an original idea of mine, do you?
right.
That's where I stole it.
Yeah.
The
Well,
paint,
I stole it too. I took it with me too.
the paint idea for me is just easy. I
Yeah,
don't
no,
have to worry about it. And it's built-in maintenance for me. Because when the client changes the light bulb and the
they throw the
electrician
screening
comes in,
away.
they go, it doesn't look right. Oh, I'll fix it. And I never told them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, it is difficult though with screens. I used to do that with mercury vapor, and I'd have the screens cut. And I would force the screen around the light bulb where it would stay in. But for an uplight, I'd have to take the damn lens off.
Right.
And what I would end up doing was putting screens on top of the lens, then coming back in the daytime, putting the screens inside, putting the lens back on, being careful not to mess up the location of the uplight shield. It was just double work. And that's
Oh, black paint's a great idea.
it solved a problem, and it really works.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No,
That-
it's a great
trick.
idea.
I like it.
Yeah, it's a good
Yeah.
trick.
And I'll tell you something else. You can shape, if you get a hot spot with a any of these fixtures, you can put your finger on the spot and look at it and move your finger around on the surface of the fixture and figure out where that hot spot is, and you can paint that little area.
Right.
And of course, we did that with theatrical things too, with a paintbrush. So I stole that too.
It's
Right.
okay. I won't tell.
But you know, that's, yeah, I mean, it makes a difference.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
and the softness that you know, Chris, the way that the screens soften a light
Right.
quickly, it's amazing. It changes the whole look.
Yeah. But when it's that close to the lens, it doesn't change it a lot because it's very close to the light bulb. I don't think.
Check it out on a deck or on a wall. And it's amazing, but you have to have somebody do it for you.
Right.
So
So you
you
can't
look
look
at
at the
it.
light.
Yeah, so you're not night blind. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
Good trick.
All right, guys. Well, thank you very much. Great job, George. And
Yeah, George, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
good
see you
night. And
next
again,
round.
Awesome.
George at winterlinglighting.com. If you got a question, let me know.
Very
Very
good.
good.
Get it, man. Appreciate it.
And just to Mark, we have the Emery Allen thing tomorrow, right?
That's tomorrow. Yeah, the light source,
Yeah.
light sources class. The first one is tomorrow, and then the following Wednesday is number 2. So,
Okay.
and that one's all pre-recorded, so that'll be interesting. We'll run it and see how that works towards interaction. So,
Okay.
all right, guys. Thank you very much.
Thanks
Thank
again,
you.
George.
Thank you.
You're awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Yeah.
sir.